Hey everybody, Todd Caponi here with a bit of last minute advice around your use of references. Where at the end of the year, you might have more prospects that are asking for them. You worry that you don't have enough. You're overusing the references that you have. So, two quick pieces of advice that should be easy to implement and potentially open up more references or make the individual references you have want to do more. Tip number one, create mutual value in the reference request process. And what I mean by that is typically what we do is we call our best customers and we say, hey, listen, I've got a prospect that's thinking about making a decision right now here at the end of the year, and they want to talk to a customer that has had a good experience or is working with us. And so that becomes a one-way ask. That customer might like you, might like your products, and might want to do you a favor, but there's a limit and they have other priorities, right? So what do you do instead? Simply say, hey, listen, I've got a prospect right now that is evaluating us and they're in this type of role with this type of company, which is similar to yours. And I thought that this might be a great person for you to know and to network with and to share best practices. And of course, they want to talk to a customer. So hopefully you can share what your experience has been like there. But from a networking perspective, I thought this could be a good connection for you. Most of us want to expand our network. That might be a great way to get the references that you have today more willing to do more of them and potentially get other customers of yours more willing to be a reference if you become a network giver. Point number two, or idea number two that should be easy to implement, is give those references more latitude to paint a picture of imperfection about their experience with you. There's a couple of things that happen here. Number one is sometimes your references feel pressure. You've got a deal that you're working on and you're going to have them, talk to you as a customer, as a reference. What happens if it goes badly? You feel on the hook, right? And so sometimes your customers feel pressure to create this painting that you are awesome and you are perfect. Well, let's go back to the thing that inspired the book that I wrote, The Transparency Sale. And it was this idea that we all look at reviews today, right? 96% of us will look at reviews before we buy something of substance that we haven't bought before. Basically, a reference is the human version of a review on a website, right? But 82% of us seek out the negative reviews first, and a product score or review score of a 4.2 to a 4.5 sells better than a product that has nothing but fives. So let's take that over to the reference world. If you're asking your references to paint a picture that you are perfect, well, you're actually not doing the prospect any favors because they are wired to try to predict what their experience is going to be like. They want the negatives first. It's why 82% of us look for the negative reviews first when we're evaluating a product online. That takes the pressure off your references, makes them more valuable, and potentially opens up more reference possibilities from your customer base that maybe haven't had a perfect experience. When that customer can say, hey, listen, we love them, but there's a couple of issues that we've had. Here's how they've responded. That's really valuable to a prospect. Or two, we wish they had this feature or wish we had this piece. That's okay too, because if you've been hiding that and your potential customer really wants that, that's important to know now versus after they sign, right? And then they hate you and then you've got all kinds of other craziness happening. So try those two things. Make your reference calls mutually valuable and give your customers the latitude to paint the picture that you are imperfect. And what you're going to find is more customers that are willing to be references. And each one of those reference calls is going to be abundantly more valuable. So please give that a try. I would love to hear how it goes. Either share in the comments or reach out to me individually. And I hope you have a great end of 2019 and happy holidays to all of you. Thank you.